What's going on, fishy friends? Alright, so got an empty tank over here. Today we're going to talk about trying to disinfect some tanks and some equipment. In particular, this tank down here, and this one right here. This one over here is one of my 10 gallons. I had some Celestial Pearl Danios and a couple of different Rasboras in here. I had one of those Rasboras for quite a long time. Unfortunately, this tank came down with something. I thought it was freshwater velvet for a little while. I did some treatments for that didn't seem to help. I honestly don't know what it was in the end. Tried a couple of different treatments and nothing seemed to work, so we're going to go ahead and disinfect this thing now that there are no more inhabitants, and I drained it last night. I'm going to disinfect it today. This one down here, we had a couple of German blue rams in. I had a female that hadn't been looking so good for quite a while. She had a sunken belly. I was concerned about some parasites. She wasn't eating well. She was very lethargic. I tried a couple of different treatments for that. Mainly the Seachem Metro. I tried it mixed in with some frozen foods. She just wasn't eating. I tried just dosing the tank. She never seemed to get any better. Then the male that I had in here, I found him dead the other day. And the female died shortly after that too. So I'm going to go ahead and disinfect this tank too, just because I don't know what it was affecting these fish, and I don't want to take a chance of putting healthy fish in here and getting them sick. So I don't trust these sponge filters. I don't trust any of these decorations that are in here. I don't trust the tank itself, even the heater, things like the net that I used in that particular tank, all my nets for that matter. And I even made sure not to use my normal water change hoses. I got a couple of pieces of clear tubing over here on top of the trash. I'm just going to go ahead and throw them out because I got enough tubing around here that I don't want to risk contaminating a different tank with whatever it was that caused me to lose these fish over here and over here. So while I'm at it, I'm going to disinfect a couple of other things, and all I'm going to be using is bleach and water. That should be good enough to kill any parasite or bacteria or anything that might be affecting this. So I think that's the easiest course of action. I'll use a diluted bleach solution, then I'll rinse everything in dechlorinated tap water a few times. So I'll keep filming as I go along and do this. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and mix up my my bleach solution here. Just going to do a gallon or two of water and a cup or two of bleach. That's probably more than enough to do what I need to do. Make sure it's all mixed together. Oops. And that's that. Now I'm going to go ahead and pretty much take everything that's in this tank. Start with the sponge filters. I'll probably rinse these all off in the sink before I toss them into the bleach solution. And anything else that's in this tank. Big decoration. These things. Any of these rocks. I'm going to do the heater itself. And of course the cord and anything else that would access and touch the water. And that's about that. I'll keep going on this and I'll keep checking. Alright guys, so I've had everything soaking in the bleach solution for a little while now. I got my next bucket set up, which is just a little bit of warm water and a super high extra dose of Prime. I'll go ahead and rinse everything under the tap first, and then kind of rinse it out and let it soak in the dechlorinated water for a little bit too. Then what I'll do is I'll take the actual tank and start scrubbing that with a little bit of a bleach solution as well. Alright guys, so I scrubbed the tank a couple of times. Now I'm going to fill it up with a little bit of water, a little bit of bleach, and actually rinse out the tank like this too. So, I think my battery died there. Anyway, so I filled it up with that water and that bleach, I scrubbed it down with the rag, I rinsed and rinsed and rinsed and rinsed again, and now I'm going to call the tank clean, and everything that's in that bucket is now in the clean tap water, so that's as clean as it's going to be. And then I'll go ahead and do the same on this tank. Now, one thing I should have mentioned at the beginning of the video is that obviously cleaning these filters in a solution of bleach water is going to kill any beneficial bacteria that have grown on there, essentially rendering that filter useless for the time being. It might as well be a brand new filter right off the shelf at the store. So I'm going to have to go through seeding that filter and sort of go through setting up a new tank from scratch. So I'll make sure I film along as I do that and give any advice I can. Some people have asked me to try to show a start-to-finish setup, you know, sort of begin an aquarium. So we'll go ahead and start doing that one day soon, too. Alright guys, so the first tank is done, back down in its spot and just sitting there empty. I also took the opportunity to insulate this tank. I can only get insulation on that right side and the back, and then I didn't have enough room in between the two tanks here. Should have planned that out a little bit better to begin with, but a little bit of insulation has got to be better than no insulation. So anyway, now on to tank 2 as far as the disinfecting goes. Just like with that first tank, I'm going to throw away this airline and start over with a new airline. I'm going to disinfect everything that's in here, the rocks, the sponge filter, not just the sponges but the whole apparatus, the heater, the suction cups, the thermometer. Did I say that? Throwing away the plants that are in here, and I'm probably going to throw away the substrate too. I'll keep the rocks. This is just pool filter sand that's covered in blue-green algae right now. So I'll keep working on this one. Alright guys, so here we are a day later. I got the tank back in its position, and it's fully dry now. Theoretically, bleach dissipates and basically disappears once it evaporates. So allowing this to completely dry after cleaning everything with bleach, I think, was a wise idea. I purposely didn't bother refilling it. I left the lid off the tank so it can completely dry, and I did the same over here. I just put the lids back on, and the tanks are now spick and span, sparkly clean, and hopefully free of any disease. And now I can go ahead and think about restocking these things. I'll save it for a separate video. We'll kind of do a how to start an aquarium. Talk about doing a fishless cycle where we dose an aquarium with ammonia and get it ready for fish. We'll talk about that another time. Alright guys, that's it for now. My little helper is cleaning up the sand and the mess I made. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Follow Rich's Fishes on Instagram, and I will see you guys soon.